Good morning to you to 6 a.m. and we are dealing with quite a mess on the roads this Friday morning, as you just saw from Jen not too long ago. Snow is still falling in certain spots in the metro, and here's a live look from Mobile 11 where you can see roads still partially covered. Some are completely covered. We have CC Gaines in Mobile 11. We're going to check in with her very soon. And you're going to want to take it slow no matter what time you leave the house. We're also in for more snow today. Could let up. We're going to check in with Ben, and we have Eva actually live in St. Paul. Snow emergencies are in effect in certain cities across the Twin Cities metro. So we're going to talk with her about what that means and where you should park. Also, overnight crews. They've been working to get the power back on as thousands of people left in the dark and left in the cold. At last check, Xcel Energy is reporting about 100 outages. And of course, they're working around the clock to get the power restored. And take a look at the bottom of your screen. We are seeing more than 70 schools and businesses delayed or closed. You can also go to KARE11.com/closings for the full list of closures that we're seeing. All right, let's get out to Ben. It is the weekend. The Vikings play tomorrow. There's a lot in store for this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing you want to do before you start your weekend is clear the snow off your driveway, because this snow has a lot of moisture in it. And when the temperatures get a lot colder this weekend, all that's going to freeze into a big glacier that probably won't melt until springtime. Now let's take a live look outside. The wind is actually helping us. It's light right now, so all that heavy wet snow still sticking to trees and houses and things, making it look like indeed a winter wonderland. Currently sitting at 29 degrees. That's more or less where we're going to hang out most of the day. And notice the wind has just started to shift from the northwest, just under 10 miles per hour. The wind is forecast to increase today from the northwest as this storm system finally moves off towards the east. Steady thermometer, and you can see snow showers linger in the forecast most of the day today, but only looking at minor accumulation. To see how that's impacting the roads, here's Jen.
All right, thank you, Ben. And this is the crash of the morning so far. This is the Mendota Heights, kind of Eagan area. This semi, see it right here, went off the road. This is 494 westbound, right where it meets 35E, like right past the ramp from 35E, causing a backup, as you can see, on 494 westbound. So that's going to be a situation for a little bit. Not the only spin out we're seeing, though. If we look at this, it's kind of all in this pocket in the southeast metro, right? Here's the semi. We got a car off the side of 77 northbound near the Mall of America. Another on 35 just south of St. Paul on your way down to the southeast metro. So that's kind of what we're seeing. Another morning where it is slick on the roads and you're going to have to take it slow. And that is what CC Gaines is doing out in Mobile 11. She is with photojournalist Nate Anderson, who just, nonchalantly saved a person from getting off in the side of the ditch. Have you guys pulled anyone else out yet, CC?
Yeah, we've been really busy this morning. We've been all around the metro, and then my photographer literally helped someone out of a ditch who was stuck out in Rosemount because the roads were pretty bad out there. Since then, we have not helped anyone. We haven't seen anyone else on the side of the road, thankfully. We're now on 55 headed towards Minneapolis, and as you can see here, roads are much better than they were when we were in Rosemount just 30 minutes ago. We have seen a lot of plows on this road, actually. There has been a lot of snow on the shoulder here, but as far as the actual road, just a lot of slush and a little bit wet. You can definitely go at a little faster speed, at least on this part, not going super slow because of ice or anything, but still being cautious and taking things slow. That has been the message all morning, taking it slow and really being aware of your surroundings and where you are in relation to any other cars and snow plows. So that's the message right now. We're going to keep going to other parts of the metro and give an update for you in about 30 minutes.
All right, CC and Nate, keep up the great work. We will check back in very soon. We are now just hours into snow emergencies across the metro, going into effect late last night. And Eva is joining us in St. Paul right now with what you need to know if you parked your car on the street. Hey, Eva.
Hi, Alicia. It can cost you here in St. Paul over $300 if you park your car along a snow emergency route. This car right here, and if you look in front of me, lots of cars actually. They're lining the street on this side. They can't park here through 9 this morning, actually. So they'll be good after that because that's when it moves today. But there's a sign right there that says this is a night plow route. So if somebody comes by here, they do have the potential to be ticketed and towed. The ticket is around $65, and then the tow costs around $280. So again, it's a very costly mistake if they do come and parking enforcement does come and ticket and get you towed there. But I want to talk a little bit about how it can vary from city to city. Of course, here in St. Paul, I mentioned it started for pretty much everyone around 9 last evening. The snow emergency goes in St. Paul until Sunday evening at 9 p.m. But in Minneapolis, it only lasts until tomorrow at 8. So you'll want to head to your city's website or your app to check what the protocol are in your area. Now, I mentioned earlier how this could cost you a lot of money. Coming up in 30 minutes, I will break down just how much it costs in a few different cities if you do get ticketed or towed. Back to you.
Yeah, Eva, love the app. It is definitely beneficial this time of year. We'll check back very soon. Thanks for that report. Over at MSP Airport, it is smooth sailing for now. Taking a look at the airport's arrivals and departures board, at last check, there are 3 delayed flights and 7 canceled ones. And we're getting a live picture in from Duluth's harbor camera right now. We can actually see the harbor. The last few days it's been completely covered with snow. They've been dealing with a 30-plus hour blizzard. Right now, thousands still waking up without power in the Northland. Minnesota Power says it could be days before everything is back to normal. Yeah, they got about 2 feet of snow. And this morning, the area is under a winter weather advisory. As its strongest, the storm was dropping 1 to 2 inches per hour. As we see more snow, you're going to want to make sure you have our free KARE 11 weather app downloaded to your phone. You get personalized forecasts, live radar, everything you need. You can find it wherever you get your apps. This morning, we are following developing controversy in Elko New Market in Scott County. City leaders and some neighbors are divided over a water bottling plant.
I kind of feel like it's not worth it. If you got so many people so upset about it, we can just pay some more taxes if we need to. If I think I saw that the city was only getting like 50 grand a year or something, and I know the people on city council, because I'm friends with several of them, that you guys know, like, that's a pretty small amount. Even if it's 100 grand, whatever it is, like, that's like peanuts in the grand scheme of things.
We were at the public hearing last night as people from both sides spoke about the controversial plan.
Good morning, I'm Danny Spiewak. A packed public hearing at City Hall in Elko New Market for a proposed bottled water facility by Niagara Bottling, a California-based company that wants to do some business and open a manufacturing facility just off of I-35 here in this town of about 5,000 people. Of course, there's a lot of debate and controversy, many people pleading with the council not to go through with it, saying that they're concerned about drawing from local water supplies.
Developing right now, a 20-year-old man in Savage is facing federal gun and weapons charges. According to a federal criminal complaint, River William Smith is charged with possessing a machine gun and attempting to buy grenades from a confidential FBI informant. This happened Wednesday after months of investigations. The complaint mentions text exchanges and conversations with Smith, where he allegedly calls the mass shooter in Colorado Springs a hero. He also said he was dedicated to dying in a fight with police. In a few hours, a plea agreement could be reached in the tax evasion case involving ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin and his ex-wife. They are charged on 9 counts of aiding and abetting tax fraud in Washington County. The two are accused of claiming Florida residency to avoid paying taxes here. The judge will hear their case at 1 this afternoon. Big changes are ahead for a Minnesota institution. Pearson's Candy Company has been sold to a business out of state. Minnesota's biggest candy company, known for the iconic salted nut roll, has been in business since 1909. Its current owners, Spell Capital, bought it back in 2018, saying that they modernized and made improvements to its West 7th Street facility in St. Paul. The new buyers are Annabelle Candy Company, based out of California. There's no word yet what the sale means for local Pearson's operations or its employees. A lot is on the line for our Vikes tomorrow. They could clinch the NFC North title for the first time since 2017. They're going to be taking on the Colts at US Bank Stadium. The Vikings are hoping to rebound after a really tough loss to the Lions last weekend. Right now, the Purple and Gold is 10-3, holding one of the best records in the NFL. Kickoff is tomorrow at noon. Go Vikes. We're taking a live look from the roads in Mobile 11. As you can see, they're still wet. It's very misty like snow, Ben. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a wet, just very fine snow.
I would call it that, kind of that, it's really, they're tiny snowflakes, if you will, and the snowfall rate right now is a whole lot lower than what it was this time yesterday. So that has allowed road crews to kind of catch up on the snowfall totals. Now here are the more impressive snowfall totals we've seen from this latest snowstorm. Up along the North Shore, the big winners, Finland with close to 30 inches of snow. Duluth just shy of 2 feet. Amazing snowfall totals. That snow total up there is snow joke. There, that's the third dad joke of the day. In and around the metro, anywhere between about 3 and 6 inches of snow fell, and it continues to fall today. However, minor accumulations are expected, probably an inch or less. And because it's coming down at such a slow rate, it's actually falling at lower than the rate of compaction with the snow. So a lot of the snow is actually going to be kind of compacting. It almost looks like the snowpack is shrinking as the snow falls. That could be happening today. The wind picking up later today, bringing in the colder temperatures as we head into this weekend. It will be noticeably cooler than where it's been over the last couple of days. Now, this storm system is still with us. It's the same storm that's been with us since Tuesday. Blizzard conditions out in west over the Intermountain West, North and South Dakota, I believe for the third day in a row. Not a lot of additional accumulating snow there, but we're talking visibility a quarter mile or less with wind gusts up to 40, 45 miles per hour. Western Minnesota and south central Minnesota under a winter weather advisory until 6 p.m. today. Not a whole lot of additional snow, but we could also see some gusty wind up there causing some low visibility. So if your travels take you out there, that's where the worst conditions are likely going to stay. The wind right now is fairly light around the Twin Cities, but as the storm system moves off towards the east later on this morning, we're going to notice the wind pick up from the northwest. That's the signal that this storm is moving out of the area, and eventually colder temperatures are going to follow. Temperatures holding steady near 30 today, with snow showers finally wrapping up tonight. Better travel this weekend, but temperatures a whole lot colder. We're looking at sub-zero temperatures as early as Tuesday morning. How about that, Alicia?
My goodness, bundle up. Winter's coming. All right, stick with us. We're going to check back in with Cece Gaines, who's been in Mobile 11 all morning for us, for an update on the roads, and you'll never guess what they caught on camera or what happened on camera. We're going to show you the video. Sunrise is back in less than 3. You don't want to miss that video. Let's do it.